There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What is up, everybody? What's going on? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we're live a little bit early. Obviously, it's supposed to start 11:30, but TNA just went off, so I said, what the hell, we'll go ahead and get this party started 20 minutes early. Got a full week ahead for you guys and a full week next week, so the sooner the better. While it's still fresh on everyone's mind, obviously it was taped again, but a lot of TNA shows seem to be taped, but really good episode tonight. But before we get into the action, as always, I want to welcome everybody to the EVP Show. This is my second Tna Recap Show live on my YouTube channel, my X, and also on Miami the Great's X account. So before we get started tonight, I do this before every single stream, and I will do this all the way up until, well, tomorrow night will be the last time I do it, because well, I don't know if the raffles are still going to be going past the Elimination Chamber. But After the Slam Podcast with GWE is doing a classic WWF Intercontinental Championship raffle for only $15. You have between now and Saturday, which on the East Coast right now, we're about 45 minutes to an hour from midnight. So less than 2 days to get entered. It's pretty simple. You just scan that QR code. Love it, Stampede. Double duty. It seems like it's always double duty for me. Not double duty. I used to do double duty on Tuesdays. But I went back and counted since, well, starting this past Sunday. I'll be streaming for 16 straight days. So I'm glad to see you last night on the Elimination Chamber Prediction Show, and definitely we'll see you Wednesday at 7 p.m. when we have a 7-person panel as of right now. Hopefully we get 8 for the NXT Vengeance Day predictions coming up Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Stampede will also be on that next Wednesday as well. So, yeah, back to the raffle. I'm going to take my banner off. So, when I play the video, I'm going to play this video about After the Slam. And then I will pull up the picture and give you the QR code. Like I said, scan the QR code, pay the $15. The only catch is you must give a subscription to the EVP Show, After the Slam Podcast, and Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast. Once you scan that QR code, pay that $15, and given a subscription to all 3 of those YouTube channels, you're entered into that raffle for that classic Intercontinental Championship belt. And it will end on February 28th, which is Elimination Chamber Day, with the winner being drawn on March the 1st. So you guys are running out of time. A couple more days, so make sure you get in there for that chance to win that WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. But here's the video from After the Slam Podcast, and then I'll show you the flyer, followed by the enhanced QR code that I put on here, and then we'll get to the Tna Recap Show, guys.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam Podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam Podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only 15 bucks. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only 15 bucks. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month, so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
You heard him. Don't miss out. You can become the IWC Intercontinental Champion. Here is the flyer, $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter. You must subscribe to After the Slam Podcast, Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast, and the EVP Show on YouTube. Once you have done those three things, very simple, just go to the channels and hit that subscribe button. Then you will scan this QR code. That one you can see right here, or this big enhanced version. After the Slam PayPal QR code. You send $15 via PayPal for one raffle entry. Each $15 equals one entry. More entries is a better chance to win. This raffle will close, guys, on February the 28th, so you have all the way up until Saturday to get entered into this raffle. Make sure you guys get in it. $15 to win that old school WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt is definitely a great deal. So, look for more stuff to come from DWE as far as raffles and stuff are concerned, but you definitely don't want to miss out on this. $15 for that belt is a steal. So, definitely don't miss out on that. Once again, here is the QR code. And like I said, this ends on February the 28th, and the winner will be drawn live on After the Slam Podcast at 4 p.m. Eastern. I believe it is Sunday, March the 1st. So don't miss out. I'll get my banner back up there. All right, go to the comments, see some comments. If Ring of Honor can keep pumping out shows like this one now that they have their own dedicated shows, they're going to get very interesting for viewers. Yeah, I didn't get to, it's so difficult, like I told you last night, for me to stream in at least five days a week. Sometimes, well, this week and next week, 7, but most of the time it's just 5, unless there's a PLE. But I may take the extra day off or something and just start, like, tentatively watching, other programs. Like I said, I know LFG season 3 is going to be coming up, so that's going to be another show that's added to the EVP Show channel. So, yeah, it's full slate, but I've heard good things about Ring of Honor, and I watch a lot of podcasts that talk about it. So, all right, guys, so let's get to the TNA Impact show tonight. Obviously, it was taped. Most of the TNA shows are taped. But it's Thursday night. It's live. Not live, but Thursday Night Impact on AMC from the Pinnacle in Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight, we're going to kick things off with TNA World Champion Mike Santana and the TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater, picking up where they left off at No Surrender. Last week, as I talked about in the first episode of the TNA Recap, Mike Santana and Leon Slater challenged Nick and Ryan Nemeth to a tag team match tonight. So while the show kicks off, obviously it's the same commentary team, but for this match, we saw Frankie Kazarian join Tom Hannafin and Matthew Rewalt. I think that's how you say it. Rewalt on the commentary desk for this match. So it's going to be the first match of the night. TNA doesn't waste any time. They go straight to action. I like that. Tonight was a great show. I enjoyed it. Last week I was kind of getting my feet wet back into TNA, but this was a pretty good show. Next week's also a pretty good show. It looks like 2 title matches next week. Ariana Grace is going to defend the TNA Women's Knockout Championship, and Leon Slater is going to defend that TNA X Division Championship against Nick Nemeth, otherwise known as Dolph Ziggler from WWE. So let's go tonight. The first match is the TNA World Champion Mike Santana and TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater versus Nick and Ryan Nemeth in a tag team match. So Leon Slater and Nick Nemeth start this match off. Leon Slater gets a kick to the abdomen before connecting a drop kick to Nick Nemeth and followed with an elbow drop. Ryan Nemeth is tagged in but gets tossed outside of the ring. Well, he wasn't tagged in, he just stepped in, but Leon Slater tosses him outside of the ring. Mike Santana follows up by slamming Ryan Nemeth back first off of the edge of the apron. Leon Slater then flattens the Nemeth brothers outside of the ring. Slater and Santana, they end up doing a tag team combination on Nick Nemeth. Santana drives a back elbow into him and follows with a drop kick to Nick Nemeth's head for a 2 count. Leon Slater and Mike Santana versus Nemeth 7. Yeah, I mean that's better. That's a better rate than any WWE match, unless I've seen you give it for a WWE match. I think you gave it 7.75 a couple of weeks ago. So Nick kicks out. Nick gets back in control, answers with a super kick to Santana, and both men drop in the center of the ring. Ryan Nemeth then interferes while Nick distracts the referee. Nick Nemeth connects an elbow drop to Mike Santana's stomach. Mike Santana is stuck in the name and in both Ryan and Nick's corner, and then he is absorbing multiple stomps to the midsection. Ryan goes for a cover, but the TNA World Champion quickly kicks out. So Mike Santana finally creates some space of his own and connects the rolling buck 50 onto Ryan Nemeth. Both tags are made, and Leon Slater keeps the momentum in his favor with a crossbody onto Nick Nemeth. Nick tosses Slater over the top rope, and he lands face first into the apron. So then Mike Santana goes for another rolling buck 50, but gets caught in a combo by the Nemeth brothers. Santana kicks out at 2.9, not 2.75, not 2.78, 3.78, 2.9. So then he finally gets a tag back to Leon Slater before diving through the rope to wipe out Ryan Nemeth. Slater avoids a super kick by adjusting mid-air, but Nick Nemeth connects the Famouser, which he used in WWE as well, for a 2 count. The TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater kicked out of the Famouser. Nick tries to continue the momentum by placing Slater on the top rope, but Leon Slater answered with a headbutt. So then out comes Eric Young. Now we saw Eric Young talking backstage last week about Mike Santana now. Eric Young rushes ringside, but Santana intervenes, backing him off, giving Slater the chance to set up for the Swanton 450. But Nick Nemeth got the knees up and scoring the pinfall 1, 2, 3 on Leon Slater. So Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth end up defeating the TNA World Champion Mike Santana and TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater, which will lead to a TNA X Division Championship match next week, where Leon Slater will defend against Nick Nemeth. Looking forward to that. So, go to the back, and Gia Miller, she catches up with the Righteous to get their thoughts ahead of tonight's chaotic tag team match. as the Righteous and the Hardys are going to take on the system. They make it clear they are determined to regain the trust of the Hardys. But are they really? So the next match that we're going to see is Dana Luna going one-on-one with the former TNA Women's Knockouts Champion Li Ying Li. She's accompanied by Zia Brookside. So after both ladies make their way down to the ring, Li Ying Li and Dana Luna start to the match by trading multiple blows. Li gains momentum by connecting a knee to Luna's jaw and following with a drop kick. Luna fires back by tossing Li into the top rope. Luna then connects with a suplex to maintain control of the match. She drops Li Ying Li in the center of the ring for a 2 count. Luna slams into Li with a knee to the side of her head. She goes for another suplex, but Li counters with a two roll-up pin attempts for a 2 count. So then Li Ying Li sets up for a guillotine, but Luna counters out with a suplex. Luna wraps a chain around the top turnbuckle, ready to send Li Ying Li into it, but Li cuts it off. Li creates space with a series of strikes and connects with a super kick. She follows with hammer fist to Luna's head and launches her with a suplex for a 2 count. Luna avoids a knee to the midsection and sends Li into the turnbuckle before planting her with a rebound Blue Thunder for a pinfall attempt, but she kicked out. At 2, the former Knockouts Women's Champion, Ying Li, goes for a kick, but Luna avoids it and locks her in a sleeper chokehold. Li Ying Li crashes face first into the chains on the turnbuckle, and Luna capitalizes with a German suplex and seals it with the Luna landing for the 1, 2, 3. So the winner of the match is Dana Luna, and I believe she is going to be going one-on-one next week for the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship against Ariana Grace. Dana Luna versus Li Ying Li, 6.35. It was a little clunky and disjointed at times. It was. So I don't know much about Dana Luna. They said she hasn't really been in much action lately. I believe they said she was somebody's girlfriend. I can't remember who they said, but yeah, she is going to be going for that TNA Women's Knockout Championship next week. I don't expect Ariana Grace to drop the title this soon, but I don't know TNA that well, so you never know. So the winner of the match was Dana Luna. She defeated former TNA Women's Knockouts Champion Li Ying Li in a singles match. She was one of the ones that. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. They were talking about she was having visa issues. That's right. I do remember them saying that. Good catch there, Stampede. But yeah, I still don't. I don't know. I don't expect them to have Ariana Grace drop the title in like 2 weeks. So I think she'll hold the title for a little longer. Well, you never know. TNA different. So Alicia Edwards is backstage with Carlos Silva and Tommy Dreamer for her contract re-sign. She tells them that she feels lost and is ready to step away from TNA. But before she can completely rule out re-signing that contract, we see Moose walk in, and Moose tells Alicia Edwards that TNA needs her and that he needs her. They need her. So he definitely was very convincing. He ends up convincing Alicia Edwards to re-sign with TNA. She signs the contract. She gives Carlos Silva a hug, Tommy Dreamer, and she leaves the backstage area with Moose. So Alicia Edwards is back, and I believe she said Moose said she was going to be managing him. So now that you're covering TNA, I would get familiar with the term "what the fuck." Yeah, I'm or WTF. I mean, for me that means what the fuck. So I mean, yeah, I mean it could be. So with the little help from Moose, like I said, Alicia Edwards has officially re-signed with TNA Wrestling, and Carlos Silver and Tommy Dreamer are two happy campers. So we're up next for the next match of the night, which is going to feature AJ Francis versus Mance Warner, accompanied by Steph DeLander, and it's definitely some sort of like grudge match. It's a pretty good match. So the match starts off. AJ Francis immediately attacks Mance Warner as he enters the ring, and then we get a bell, and Mance tosses AJ over the top rope. Outside the ring, AJ Francis goes face first into the steel steps. But then AJ Francis recovers and he responds by tossing Warner off the steel stairs back first onto the floor. Both contenders then continue to trade blows, and AJ Francis connects with the Tennessee Whiskey. Speaking of what the fuck, Mance Warner versus AJ Francis 5.50. Yeah, you was a big fan of that. Mance connects with a jawbreaker and flattens Francis in the center of the ring. Mance follows with a bionic elbow and then pokes him in the eyes and drops him face first onto the canvas. Mance goes for the cover, but only gets a count of 2. AJ Francis fires back with a TFL for a 2 count of his own. AJ Francis then brings a steel chair into the ring, and Steph DeLander attempts to interfere. The steel chair ends up in the hands of Mance Warner, who repeatedly smashes it into AJ Francis, getting himself disqualified from the match. So this match was not, I mean, it had the opportunities to be a great match, but I guess TNA didn't want either one of them to eat a pinfall. Maybe they're going to extend this feud a lot longer. So Mance Warner ended up getting that steel chair and whopping AJ Francis with it, getting himself disqualified. So AJ Francis ended up defeating Mance Warner, who's the person that threw that steel chair in the ring to Mance by Steph DeLander via disqualification. So then, just like last week, which is something I'm getting used to, which is an injury report, WWE likes to make up, like, they like to chat GPT injuries and just throw, like, random shit at the wall with their injuries. It's like they did with Jada Parker until I shut that shit down on Sunday Scoops. And I was like, that's definitely not true. They're always on WWE. They're always either out indefinitely or it's some kind of crazy. I mean, no, stuff from Bronson Reed was actually true, but I've heard them make up some real like whoppers when it comes to these injuries. But the TNA injury report is presented by Bioplex. So apparently from last week's guitar casket case match between Mustafa Ali that he had last week, he's currently out of action after suffering multiple injuries from last week's guitar case casket match. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. Also, Jody Threat, she wrestled last week against Tessa Blanchard. She suffered a rib injury last week and is currently out. And from the beginning match earlier, even though he's defending the title next week, X-Division champion Leon Slater is under evaluation after an injury during the match earlier. So what was on my thumbnail for tonight? And something I've been looking forward to because obviously I haven't seen her in the ring. I saw that she came back. Obviously, I followed her, covering 2 seasons or covering LFG. She wasn't on the second season; she was on the first season. The injury report gives a bit of a sports feel. AEW does that with the wrestlers' win-loss records on the graphics when they come to the ring. That's pretty awesome. WWE needs to start doing that instead of making getting an injury and just bringing it up on Chat GPT. Now Bronson was actually legit, but I've heard some whoppers. So TNA Hall of Famer Mickie James is back, and she comes face to face with formerly known as Dana Brooke in WWE, but it's Ash by Elegance. And believe it or not, until just like about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I didn't even know that Ash by Elegance was actually Dana Brooke. So Mickie James is ready to address Ash by Elegance, but out comes the personal concierge to announce Ash by Elegance entrance. But Mickie interrupts, making it clear she only wants to speak to Ash. Mickie wanted a chat that was woman to woman. With some of the win-loss records in WWE, they may not. Yeah, especially Roxanne Perez's 2025. It was terrible. Wish her a speedy recovery, by the way. She'd have surgery to remove a benign cyst or tumor thing on her back. So I expect to see. Hopefully she's back on WrestleMania season, but if not, hopefully speedy recovery for Roxanne and she's able to come back. I do expect, hopefully, a better 2026 for Roxanne Perez. Kairi Sane is 0-9. Oh wow, that's unbelievable. That's in 2026. Oh my god, it's fucking awful. So, like I said, Mickie interrupts, says she wants to speak to Ash, wants to chat woman to woman. Mickie thought that they were friends, but Ash makes it clear. Oh shit, 2026. 0-9. Kairi Sane still hasn't broken the snide in the win comment. Who knows if she will. Mickey's told Ash she thought they were friends, but Ash makes it clear that they were friends, but they are no longer friends. They go back and forth over their history with each other. Ash feels she was the hottest free agent at the time, and that Mickie had no influence in it. Mickie calls out Ash for how she'd been handling things. Mickie thinks that Ash is better than all of the deceit that she's been causing. Ash feels she's better than everyone. Mickie James and Ash by Elegance start to brawl a brawl breaks out of the middle of the ring with two of them. But the Elegance brand is seen backstage with her Mickie James' son, intimidating him. And Mickie James rushes to her son, but the Elegance brand is ready to surprise attack Mickie James on the rampway. Ash connects a DT, and Mickie James is left laying in pretty rough shape. So it was all set up. They had Mickie James' son back in the back, and then once she started running, making her way to the back, the Elegance brand was waiting, and then Ash by Elegance was able to put that move on Mickie. So I'm expecting a match with Mickie James and Ash by Elegance. I think it'll be pretty good. I think both of them can still go in the ring. So Harley Hudson and Mala Grace find Jody Threat down backstage and rush to get help. Santina Marella comes to the aid to find out what happened. And then Daria Ray interrupts, trying to get answered, and pulls Marella outside. Daria Ray thinks Ariana Grace is going to make an amazing champion, but it's done with the chaos. Mickie James, Ash, it did go really long. It was super long, but I'm happy to see Mickie James back. So Daria's done with the chaos. So we go to the next match of the night, and it's going to be Tasha Steelz, accompanied by Order 4 versus Jada Stone. Two people I've never seen wrestle before, so it was interesting. Tasha Steele takes advantage before the bell rings by attacking Stone. The bell sounds and the match is officially underway. Steele keeps the momentum with multiple strikes. Jada Stone fires back with strike of her own, lands a kick to the face and connects a drop kick onto Tasha Steele, sending her to the outside of the ring. Jada Stone looks to flatten Steele outside the ring, but gets caught by the great hands. Steele tries to follow up while Stone is distracted, but Stone flattens the great hands instead. Jada Stone seizes the opportunity and connects a moonsault onto Order 4, but Steele answers back with a boot to Stone's face. Jada Stone is fired up in Nashville. Steele still gets back in control and slams Stone to the ground with a suplex after rolling Stone, not the Rolling Stone back into the ring. She follows with a kick to the face and goes for the cover, but Jada Stone kicks out at 2. Jada Stone and Steele trade back-to-back roll-up attempts until Stone connects with a super kick. She steps on the gas and drops Tasha with a sling blade. Stone goes for the cover, but Steele's kicked out. Steele catches Jada Stone and lands a German suplex before going for a cutter. Jada blocks the cutter with a handstand into the pinfall. So the winner of the singles match, Jada Stone. She defeated Tasha Steele, accompanied by Order 4. So the great hands toss Stone back into the ring, and Tasha connects a cutter onto Stone. The battle is over, but the war continues. The great hands jump into the ring. A message had been sent by Tasha Steele and Order 4. So yeah, it was very interesting. But to me, wasn't too great of a match. 5.75. That you ranked that one just a little bit above AJ Francis and Warner. Jada Stone gets a W, but Order 4 crashes the celebration before it could even begin. So, what a lot of people were waiting on from last week, obviously the whole segment with Steve Macklin meeting Tom Hennepin back in the parking lot. Macklin wanted a chance to be able to come inside without security bothering him, and to speak his mind about what's going on. So Tom Hennepin stands in the center of the ring, and he is going to interview Steve Macklin. So Tom Hennepin shares that they have been best friends for over a decade and wants the truth behind Macklin's actions against TNA's men's world champion Mike Santana. So Steve Macklin insists it is not about Santana, but it's actually about himself. It's about his last day at TNA. He also tells Tom Hennepin that if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have a job at TNA. And then Hennepin goes on to say that that is true, but he's also went to bat for Macklin as well as Mike Santana and a lot of others in the back. Macklin insists it's not about Santana, but it's about himself. He calls Santana the most selfish person in the company and reveals that being thanked by him for his own selfishness was the final straw. So then Tom Hennepin can't really believe what Steve's saying, but Macklin countered by questioning him where Santana was during their tag team match after Santana lost the title. Hennepin is trying to get answered from a furious Steve Macklin about his attack on TNA World Champion Mike Santana. Disappointed that Macklin refuses to take any accountability for his actions, Hennepin continues pressing him until Steve Macklin delivers a punch to Tom Hennepin in his stomach. And then out comes security, and the TNA World Champion Mike Santana rushes to Tom Hennepin's aid. Macklin retreats from the ring, and he also shoves down Matthew Rewalt to the ground when he tries to confront him for striking Tom Hennepin. So yeah, Steve Macklin just put his hand on Tom Hannafin and Matthew Rewalt. Mike Santana said he was going to kick his ass. So I guess we're going to be seeing that. So, whoops, didn't mean to do that. So I'll take a quick look at the video.
Thursday night, in fact, the Righteous, Rich Swan at the System Flash in a four-way tag team showdown.
Could be a four-way tag team showdown next week.
Title is on the line as Ariana Grace defends against the Wild Child Joey Threat. And for the first time ever, the wanted
title.
Nick Nemeth challenges Leon Slater for the
Nick
X Division
Nemeth
Championship live on Thursday night, in fact. Thursday at 9.
I thought Lana Black was to wrestle next week. She's on my thumb, so either way it goes. So next week we're gonna see the Righteous, Sinner and Saint, and Rich Swann and BDE and the System clash in a four-way tag team showdown. Ariana Grace defends her TNA. Oh, so I was wrong. So I thought it was the girl from earlier, but it's the girl that they said was injured. Ariana Grace is going to defend her TNA Knockouts World Championship title against Jody Threat. For the first time ever, Nick Nemeth challenges Leon Slater for the TNA X Division Championship. So after the injury to the melee that went on with Steve Macklin and Tom Hannafin, Gia Miller joins Matthew Rewalt on the commentator desk due to Tom Hannafin's encounter with Steve Macklin just moments ago. So we're set for the, I believe this was the main event of the, I think it was the main event of the night. The System versus TNA World Tag Team Champion, the Hardy Boys, and the Righteous in an 8-man tag team match. So the main event of the evening starts with Jeff Hardy and Eddie Edwards. Hardy connects with an elbow to the face to Eddie Edwards. Continuing his combo, he connects a boot to Edwards' chest, slams down with an elbow drop to the midsection. The action quickly breaks down as everyone begins to trade blows in the ring. The Hardys and the Righteous synchronize delete on all the members of the System. So deletions all the way around. The Hardys combo onto Eddie Edwards until Matt Hardy tags in Vincent. Edwards answered with a tag to Brian Myers, but Vincent Stampede says the Hardys and the Righteous versus the System, Barry Bronson, Brian Myers, and Cedric Alexander, and Eddie Edwards 6.75. So Brian Myers kicks out of, oh shit, I missed a whole lot of my notes here. Edwards answered with a tag to Brian Myers, but Vincent flattens him in the center of the ring. Matt Hardy and Vincent follow with multiple kicks onto Myers. Jeff Hardy adds a leg drop onto Myers between the ropes and crashes down with a splash for the cover. He kicks out. Brian Myers kicks out at 2 and connects with a jawbreaker, creating space to tag in Cedric Alexander. Cedric immediately charges at Jeff, but Jeff flips him and flattens him before tagging in Vincent. Vincent and Matt trade quick tags and flatten Cedric Alexander. Matt Hardy goes for the cover. Cedric Alexander kicks out at 2. So then we get Barrett Bronson and Dutch collide in the middle of the ring. Two meaty guys going at it blow for blow. And trade back-to-back blows. Dutch attempts a twist of fate, but Bronson avoids it. Dutch instead drops him with an overhead exploder and tags in Vincent. The Righteous then connect with Poetry in Motion on Bronson. The Righteous channel a little poetry in motion of their own. So Edwards attempts to intervene, giving Bronson the opening to slam Vincent down with a choke bomb for a cover, but only gets the 2 count. Brian Myers with the quick tag in and locks Vincent in a chokehold to continue the momentum. Vincent breaks free, but absorbs a knee to the face. Another tag brings Bronson in, and he scoops up Vincent and slams him down. Bear Bronson then crashes down from the top ropes with an elbow drop. Hardy is in the Righteous versus System. Bear Bronson, Brian Myers at 6.75. So was that your favorite match of the night, Stampede? I'm looking back at your. So the Leon Slater was a 7. That was your highest ranking of tonight. So Vincent builds momentum with the Russian leg sweep on Cedric Alexander. Both men are down in the center of the ring, and the tags are made. Matt Hardy takes on the System and drops both Cedric and Edwards at the same time. He goes for the cover, but Myers breaks it up. Vincent then makes the save for Matt Hardy, but Bear Bronson drops Vincent. Jeff Hardy then connects with a twist of fate on Barry Bronson. Cedric Alexander interferes but gets met with Death Walk from Dutch. Edwards returns to the ring and sends Dutch over the top rope. Matt Hardy attempts a twist of fate, but Edwards counters with a Blue Thunder. Vincent shoves Matt Hardy out of a Boston Knee Party from Eddie Edwards, giving Edwards the opportunity to score the pinfall, the 1-2-3 on Vincent. So the winners of the match, the System, defeat the Hardy Boys and the Righteous. The System is not done. They continue their onslaught onto the Righteous and the Hardys, and out comes Moose. Moose once again comes to the rescue, but he's outnumbered. Alicia Edwards rushes out and puts herself between her husband and Moose. And that is how TNA ended. I don't know why they didn't advertise what's her name? Elena Grace or Cora Jade. The new name she has the TNA against. She's supposed to have a match next week, but they didn't advertise it. Next week. Stampede, did you know about Cora Jade? She's supposed to have a match next week. I mean, it was advertised, but they didn't talk about it tonight. Next week we're gonna see the Righteous, Sinner and Saint, Chris Swan and BDE, and the System clash in a 4-way tag team showdown. Elena Black against what's her name? I can't think of her name. She's supposed to be facing her this coming up week. I mean, the freaking thumbnails, like it's all over. It's all over the internet. I mean, it's my damn thumbnail for next week. So I don't know. Maybe it's like just not one of the feature matches, but I don't know. I did hear them mention a match for Elena, but I know I did. I think it was the girl she was in the ring with last week. They both came from NXT, I guess. She's kind of short. Sade or something, maybe. Sade, maybe her last name. I can't remember her first name, though. Ariana Grace defends her TNA Women's Knockouts World Championship against Jody Threat. And for the first time ever, Nick Nemeth challenged Leon Slater for the TNA X Division title. Mara Sade, yeah. Let me look that up while I have this pulled up. And the System will go versus TNA World Tag Team Champion Hardy, and that was tonight. Let me look that up. See if that's happening next week before we go. So it's going to be Mara Sade versus Elena Black. Yeah, I don't know why I call her. I know I call her Cora Jade. Assume it's going to happen. Yeah, man, I saw the thumbnail. Jakara Jackson, actually. So you can see the match announcement below here. The announced match for next month TNA taping in Atlanta on March 5th and 6th. Yeah, Slater, Moose versus Cedric Alexander. System versus the Righteous versus BDV. Morrissey versus Elena Black and Mr. Elegance's in-ring debut next week also. So yeah, it is happening next week. It is part of the show next week. So looking forward to that. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up TNA Impact for tonight. Episode number 2 on the EVP show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We went a bit, well, it was about 50 minutes last week as well. And I mean, I got close to 100 views last week, but right at 50. It's late. A lot of stuff happened this week. Everybody prepping for the weekend. Just had 50 views, by the way, which is pretty good. It was a good show tonight. I'm actually starting to enjoy TNA, so I'm glad that I was able to start recapping it, picking it up. Looking forward to next week. See what Ariana Grace are gonna do. And it's actually Jakara Jackson, so looking forward to seeing what she does on TNA as well against Elena Black. So before we go, guys, like I said, shout out to Stampede for coming in. Obviously, you saw Stampede on my Elimination Chamber prediction show last night at 7 p.m. If you didn't, make sure you go back to my YouTube page. You'll be able to see the replay. It was my fastest prediction show ever. It was well under 2 hours. I had a GOAT panel of people. And a lot of those same people will be joining me Wednesday alongside Stampede at 7 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Vengeance Day. We have a 7-person panel as of right now. So I'm on the lookout for one more. If not, it will just be 7 of us covering NXT Vengeance Day next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. But before we go, I'm going to go ahead and go to my outro. And I will be back to play After the Slam video again and tell you about this raffle because it's getting close to coming to an end. But shout out to everyone, DWE, the CEO, the head of the table, Miami the Great, Final Boss Baby, Director Red, World of Greg, and After the Slam podcast, everyone from Gimmick Table Media as well. Lady Alpha from Gimmick Table Media will be making her 5th appearance on the EVP show for the NXT Vengeance Day prediction show Wednesday. And I'll also be a guest on the Wrestling Divas podcast. I believe it's March the 31st. So you guys look out for that at 6 p.m. Eastern on March the 31st. I'm going to go ahead and go to my outro. And then after that, I will go to After the Slam video. And I'll be back to explain not the last time. Tomorrow night will be the last time that I'll be playing the video because this raffle does end on Saturday, February 28th, the day of Elimination Chamber.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right. Shout out to the 53 people listening live. I mean, I've seen some earlier YouTube podcasts that didn't even have 40. And this is a Tna Recap Show. So there's that. So yeah, I expect a big show tomorrow. Hopefully you guys show up big. Like I said, if you didn't catch our Elimination Chamber prediction show last night, it is completed and it's on my lives on my YouTube page. So if you want to go back and watch it, super graded panel, a lot of good predictions and analysis from everybody that was on the panel, and can't wait to have about 60 to 70% of them come back Wednesday for the NXT Vengeance Day prediction show. So definitely make sure you go back and watch that because it's definitely a good show. So here is the video by After the Slam Podcast, and I will be back after the video to explain exactly how it works, which he's going to explain, but I'll explain to you again. I'll show you the flyer and the QR code and tell you how to make sure you get signed up, because it's almost here. It's almost time to pick a winner.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slime podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slime history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slime podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt. Shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month, so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
All right. Good video about After the Slam. I'm going to miss playing that after tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be the last time I play that video until the next raffle. So, like he mentioned in the video, this is a $15 raffle to win the classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt. The only catch to this is you must subscribe to After the Slam podcast on YouTube, Talk It Up Wrestling podcast on YouTube, and also the EVP show on YouTube. That is a requirement to get into this raffle. And after that, after you do those three things, how to enter, subscribe to those YouTube pages, and you send $15 via PayPal to this QR code. It is After the Slam QR code for PayPal. For one raffle entry, each $15 equals one entry. More entries, better chance to win. This raffle will conclude and end on February 28th, which is the Saturday, the day of Elimination Chamber. Once again, this is the QR code. In case you missed it before, you can't see it in the bottom of the screen. If you guys go back and watch the show, or it's on one of my shorts, you will be able to see it. So yeah, this is going to end on February the 28th, and the winner is going to be drawn on March 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern on After the Slam podcast live show on March the 1st. So like he said, it's all in your hands. If you want to be the first IWC, get that classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. So that's it for me, guys, for my second edition of the newest show brought to the EVP show and the DWE network. I still haven't gotten any updates on when LFG Season 3 will start, but when it does, I will be pulling double duty on Sundays. I'll have Sunday scoops and then LFG Season 3 after that. So at that point, it's gonna get even busier for me. But yeah, so appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Close to 60 viewers between my YouTube, Miami's X, and my X as well. As far as where you can find me on my socials, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen in blue. All of my links are in my bio. If you haven't, or if you're not following me on X and you would like to, you can find me at EVPCJP. Instagram is the same handle at EVPCJP in lowercase, all in lowercase. Also on TikTok at Brady DA Goat 21 at Brady the GOAT 21. Last but not least, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, if you guys didn't catch the Elimination Chamber prediction show last night, we had a panel of 8 people. You guys go back and watch the live. It's on my channel. It was a good show. I don't even know how many views I got. I haven't even checked it yet today, honestly. I think it just uploaded it like, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I haven't even checked to see the views on it. But it was a great show. We had almost like 200, I believe, 220 or so in the live. But yeah, TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, then that means that you're not entering into that raffle for that Intercontinental Championship belt. And that means you don't like me and you don't like the EVP show. But if you're looking to subscribe to the EVP show and you're not already, you can go to that search bar and type in at the EVP show, and you will find this picture right here with a white skull Cody Rhodes logo. And it's at the EVP show. If you guys are able to go back and watch this TNA recap episode 2 stream later on, make sure you guys like the video on YouTube. I do appreciate all the comments coming from YouTube, from Stampede. That definitely helps my stream. It helps put my stream in the algorithm. Gets a lot of fresh eyes and ears on the product, and I definitely appreciate that. The likes and the comments on YouTube help the most out of anything. Obviously, you want a lot of views, but getting the likes and the comments on YouTube is what helps your channel the most, the absolute most. So thank you, Stampede, for all the comments tonight. What I have coming up next, I am back tomorrow night. It is the Go Home show, the final show. I believe it's in Chicago as well, or it's close to Chicago. I don't know where they're at. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against Nia Jackson and Bougie Bully, Lash Legend, on the SmackDown Recap Show. Set that reminder and notification bell and join me tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your Go Home show right before Elimination Chamber at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown Recap. Saturday, I'm back. As soon as Elimination Chamber concludes and the post show is over, hit that notification bell. I will join you. I will be live. You guys can join me live at 11 p.m. Eastern for the Elimination Chamber recap show. That is Saturday night. And then coming up Sunday, after the dust is settled from the Elimination Chamber, we are on the road to WrestleMania. We will know somewhat who will be challenging Jay Cargill and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. As we see, Liv Morgan is going to be challenging Stephanie McCourt, and Roman Reigns and CM Punk has been announced. So episode number 9 of Sunday Scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. First 30 minutes, I'll be delivering news. Obviously, a lot of news has come out over the last couple of days. Karrion Kross changes to the WrestleMania times. This year in Vegas would probably more than likely means more matches. Obviously, they moved up Stand and Deliver 2 weeks before WrestleMania. And then the last 30 minutes to 45 minutes, I open up Q&A to everyone on YouTube and X that is watching this show. And I will answer any and all questions that I had the answers for. Last week was phenomenal. A lot of questions, a lot of views, a lot of people in the comments. So that's Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Join me for Sunday Night Scoop with the EVP. And then Monday, starting next week, I'm back again Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap. And then Tuesday, join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home show to NXT Vengeance Day for your NXT recap show at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Tuesday. And Wednesday night, I'm back again with Stampede, Michael, Lou, Chris, Lady Alpha, and I believe Panda. That's the 7 that I have right now at 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday for the NXT Vengeance Day prediction show. Make sure you guys set the notification bell and tune in next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for right now, as we speak, a 7-person panel for that prediction show next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night, I'm back again at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for my 3rd episode of the TNA Recap Show. And then next Friday night, I'm back again. What will be the fallout from Elimination Chamber at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap. And then Saturday, once Vengeance Day concludes, I will be live on the EVP show at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT Vengeance Day recap show. I will be recapping the entire PLE at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Saturday once the PLE has concluded. And last but not least, next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, join me back for episode 10 of Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern. So a full 7 days for you guys again next week with another prediction show with a great panel of at least 7 of us next Wednesday. So a lot of content. So with that being said, shout out to everyone that watched the show tonight. Make sure you guys like the show and subscribe to my YouTube channel at the EVP Show. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow night, or it's already midnight here. It's already Friday on the East Coast, but I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home SmackDown right before Elimination Chamber at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap show. You guys enjoy your Friday. Hit that notification bell and tune in tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap. I am the EVP from the EVP show, Cody. I'm the only Golden Boy and the Golden Boy of DWE. And DWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap.